Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. We have been through an amazing journey through the book of Acts. And right now we're towards the tail end with a few more chapters left, a few more days left. And I pray that as you've looked through the book of Acts, that you're starting to see how God sees church. And reframing what was the point, the meat of our existence, the reason why we exist, and that's for the message of Jesus Christ and to make disciples and to teach them. If it's anything but that, we're off track. I hope you realize that. And I'm not only talking about church as a institution, I'm talking about as a group of people, followers of Christ. You are called to stand before kings and queens. You are called to stand before those of authority and to represent Christ as ambassadors, to share the message of Jesus Christ to all people, all levels, all ethnicities, every person. Jesus is for everybody. Jesus is not just for this group or this generation or maybe that generation back there. Jesus is for all generations. So we're in Acts chapter 26, and Festus has reached out, and a governor, King Agrippa, has come and wanted to hear what he has to say. Paul understood King Agrippa, and he understood his background and his understanding of Jewish customs and religion and everything. And so Paul then begins to stand before him with respect, with honor. He stands before him and he presents his case. He presents his testimony, his story. And as he's doing this, he walks through all the way through. He talks about his conversion. He talks about what he's been called to do and the people he's called to reach. And he's talking about Jesus. At the end of this statement, the king's ready to release him. But because Paul appealed to Caesar, he has to finish the journey. You see, Paul always wanted to go to Rome and meet the Christians there. Hence the book of Romans. He always wanted to go. But the king is like, man, there's nothing. He had the power, but he said there's nothing wrong with what he's saying. He's all right. He's good to go. But we got to send him up to Caesar because he asked for it. Now, I want to encourage you today. Man, God has called you and appointed you and anointed you for such a time as this, to stand before princesses and kings and queens and people of authority, governors, mayors, and present Jesus. I don't know your sphere of influence. I don't know who's around you. I don't know your connections. But obviously, you're connected for a reason. You're connected to that individual. You're connected to that leader. You're connected to that overseer. You're connected for a reason. And I pray that God would use you with those connections at His timing and at the right moment for you to present your story. Because your story matters. Because what God has done in your life matters. And I pray that your story always gives more glory to Jesus and what He's done than to the sin that you've came out of. I pray this blessed you today. I pray you be a light in the midst of darkness. I pray you are salt to the earth, that you be able to walk in the midst of all of this coronavirus and COVID virus and be a light. What a great privilege it is. Share your faith today. Be a witness. God bless you. See you tomorrow.